Hello friends, welcome to the Easy Money Budget Planning Project. I think you're going to like this and I hope you will be able to utilize this assignment throughout your life. This is the great first step or second step. We did do the financial health assessment. The steps to good financial planning. We must allocate our money on a monthly budget, my friends, monthly basis. So as you're watching the video first. We're going to create a nice, realistic budget with an income. So I have everything for you. All right, you're watching the video. You have Adobe Acrobat because we've gone over that. Here is the budget template, which is going to be a download. And I'm using a Mac, so it goes right into my downloads. So make sure you download that. Now, what we're doing here is I've given you a full set of financials. Please use this. Do not use your own financials because 99% of the time there's just not enough to create the budget. And this will be a nice case study to do. And then once you're finished, the template is yours to keep. You're able to do this on a monthly basis. So we're going to allocate every dollar. We're going to spend every dollar that we are getting. The goal here is to zero out our budget. And if we have a negative number, that's okay for now. But what I don't want to see is a bunch of money left over at the end of the month. That would not be a realistic budget. So here we go. You have a monthly income. This is take-home pay, $3,500. So $3,500, that's probably meant you had a $5,000 a month paycheck, $60,000 a year. We've taken out insurance and taxes and different things like that. So we're left with $3,500. And you also have a side gig income. Great, little side hustle business that's getting you at least $1,500 a month. So now you have $5,000 worth of cash, so to speak, in your debit account to spend. Now, I have all of the areas that you are going to spend your money in. There's going to be savings and investing. It's always great to pay yourself first. So we have emergency funds. So these are the numbers that you would try to put in these areas. You can always go more, but do not leave one of these areas blank because that's just not going to, get us any type of point system for our project here. Again, we want to create substantial wealth. Again, budgets are come down to two different areas, my friends. They come down to creating, making an income and spending every bit of it, all on spending consumer items. Or we're making an income and we're investing it and we're spending it as well. But it's much heavier on long-term thinking. And so that's one of the real goals of this course I hope you can come out with. Saving and investing, debt payments that we have, unfortunately, we have a student loan in this case scenario. It's a minimum of $300 a month. And we have some credit cards of $275 a month. Now with this income, we do now have our own living arrangements. I know many of my students live at home. When I say many, 90% or more are living at home, but you now have the job and you are now out of the house. So you must pick one of these. Either no roommate and you can go up to, well, you can go up to $2,000 a month. The averaging is right about $1,750 a month. Okay, if you think that's just a nice place. $275 utilities, $125 internet and streaming TV services. I know you got to pay for it all. With a roommate, you may be able to get that down to $1,200. That's a nice $2,400 per month. Again, you got a good income. We're going to live well as we can, and that's what the roommate would be right in it. That's what your costs would be. We also have that phone. And we have miscellaneous. We always have a miscellaneous total, and I'll show you on the budget because there's just things we're going to skip. That all of a sudden, oh, I had prescriptions I had to pay for this month. I had other doctor bills or something else came up. Gifts came up, stuff like that. Variable costs, we have to eat. Eating healthy will range $825 a month. And while you may think that's a high number, that's $191 a week on a 4.3 week month. There's always 4.3 weeks in the 12 months. Not as big as you think. That's also toiletries, all the things that you buy that you don't want to tell anyone. Eating cheap, yes, all right. I'm doing ramen, I'm doing peanut butter. Not great on your health. There's some dining out. little bit of clothing, again, if you can buy clothing $150 a month, you are doing something very well. But we may want some more. Transportation. We do need a car. Even though you may work remote, we're still going to need a car. Okay? And a new car with payments is $975. Used car with payments is going to be $725 a month. That includes insurance, gas, maintenance, tolls. I mean, I'm just trying to give you a roundabout number. If you have a car and you want to keep the old car, I'm fine with that. But it's probably going to cost you at least $225 minimum with insurance, gas, and oil. And even if you worked remote, you would still be paying these payments right here, my friend. Entertainment, leisure, vacations, miscellaneous. This will get us through it all. So these are the numbers we're using. Now let's look at the actual template we can have some fun with. So this is what your template looks like when you have downloaded it. Again, PDFs, all of these, anything in blue is going to be where you can put your numbers in. Now they calculate up all the time. So right here, let's just go that. Let's just go to 1500. You'll see the 5,000 there. If they don't calculate up immediately, your computer may be running slow. You may save it. You may open it up again. But I've gone to great extent for this to work. And so you'll put all of your numbers in here. And then we will come down to the bottom. Now let me just show you. I went ahead and did one. Yeah, put my name in there. Put the month of February. I used the same numberings you have. So there's my 5,000. These are my totals right in here. As you can see, everything right in here pretty much has an amount to it. There's my rent. I'm going the high route. There's my car payment. I'll keep my old car. And there we go. There's streaming services, my phone, all the good stuff. Oh, the loan payment right there, that student loan, and yikes, my credit card payment. I know those are numbers, but they got to be paid for, and they may look a little bit high, but that's a pretty low student loan payment. Can you imagine paying upwards to $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month? I've counseled more students than I want to say I have on those areas that they are paying those amounts. So anything you can do to get through your education with as little debt as possible is really something you want to pursue. So as I total everything out, my food, my things in here, ooh, I have a red number. Black numbers in finance are beautiful because that means I am over zero. I'm profitable. The red number means I have a loss here. So I have a $375 dollar difference. And if you come up with that, in my opinion, that is okay, because it will take time for a budget to work. What I do not want to see is someone with $500, $1,200, $1,500 in the black, so to speak, extra money. Because that's just not going to be realistic in today's world, my friends. Even a good $5,000 worth of cash flow can go very quickly. And again, we must spend it. We must be out of the house. So we can't live at home and do this budget, if you understand what I'm saying about. We want to spend wisely and save fiercely and boldly invest our money. If you did have a big number here, let's just say you did. Let's say you have 500. Go back and plug it in. So I would go back and plug it in. Investment, my Roth IRA. So I put $625 there. $625 a month will get you to $7,500 a year, which is the allowable amount of investment in an IRA in 2026 for a single person under 50 years old. There you go. So put it back into funding. But these are numbers that we do, my friends. Now we may not spend every bit of it every month, but we at least allocate those numbers right in there. Once you finish that, now we have some reflection questions. These should be at least 300 words right in here. And that is this: go do an AI-powered search. Just copy that. Top 20 fun side gigs people can do working a full-time job. Get 20, see what happens. Narrow it down to 5, all right? And then explain those 5 right in here. Again, these are fillable forms. And then which one could you do in the next 6 months? that could launch. Now, I don't want you to have to spend $5,000 of capital investment to get something going. What could you do that can cash flow very quickly? Maybe a few hundred, but there's some creative things out there that you may like doing. And what are the obstacles that might prevent you from getting started? I know a lot of people say, "Well, I'm in school right now." Well, you can start testing that out, my friends. The sooner you can find a way to get a secondary income. 80% of all millionaires had started some sort of secondary income in their 20s. Now, if you're not 20, start it. It's extra ways of money that they got that they could then use for more investment. What are some ways you can save money? The cost cutting right in here. Spending smarter. All right, there you go. Right in there. How to reduce it. 1 or 2 sentences to get you no points in here. Again, these should be 300 words right in each one. It's very easy to write, my friends. It could save you this much. When you are finished, now as you can see what I have done on this, when I go to save it, and I hope you will do this for all of your projects in this course, you can see there's my file name. So put your first dash last name and then Easy Money Template, Project 1, again, financial assess, everything you do in here. It makes my job a lot easier to grade your work, and I put every person's work into a folder and I keep that. So I have 225 students every semester. When I have to go renaming your work, boy, that makes my job harder. And that's one thing you don't want to do. You want to make it nice and easy, so I'm in a nice, happy mood when I grade your work. I also have down here the budget project rubric. So this is how you get all of your 10 points right in here. These are satisfactory amounts right in here. You did enough, but not everything. These are where you need improvement. And if you didn't do anything, then there's just nothing I can give you for that. So that should help you. Once you are ready, just like almost all the assignments in here, ready to submit, you simply start that assignment. This is going to be a file, right, that you do. So here we are, the Easy Money right in here template. So what I might do here is just pop it right to there, and that will get my assignment. You do not need to have a comment. If you want to say submitting my assignment, I'm fine. You can submit it. I don't want to do that because it actually does something to my gradebook. If you didn't get the right one, then you just cancel out. Oh, I didn't get the right one because I didn't have the name on there. So then you would go back there and find exactly what that might be, the right file on there. There we are, my friends. Now, again, the great thing about this is once you have the blank templates right in here, you definitely want to save that. This is yours. I've created it for you, for your finances. Keep that. Most of my students at the end of the class say, "I've never had a budget before." Now you've made it very easy for me. I've given this to a multitude of people, thinking that budget was just going to be something they couldn't handle and it was going to be very limiting. It's very liberating because, again, after 3 months, you really are going to start saving money. You're going to know where every dime goes, and that's going to be great for you, and it's going to be the great foundation steps to your personal finances. I hope you enjoyed this project.